I want to share a fun Richard Branson story. I know I've been kind of doing a series on lessons I've learned from Richard, and this wasn't one I saw in person, but it's a story that he often tells. And I do think while you're going to hear the story and think I would never, ever do that, I do think there's a great lesson in it. So when Richard was 5 years old, there's a famous story where his mom, they were driving home in the country, and she pulled over and she dropped him off literally on the side of the road as a 5-year-old kid and gave him 25 pence and said, "Richard, I'll see you at home. It's your job to get home." Now, would any of us do that today in this world? Obviously, certainly not. Maybe in bucolic countryside England, but probably not even there. But I think there's a real lesson in this. And it was one of the most, according to Richard, one of the most meaningful moments of his life, and something at almost 70 years old he still carries with him to this day. And it was about resilience. And I'm not sure we're building enough resilience into ourselves. And certainly I always worry, am I building enough resilience with my kids? And I don't advocate for dropping a kid off on the side of the road at 5 years old and good luck out there. But I also think it's really important, and I'm going to focus on our clients today, but I want you to think about in your personal relationships as well. I think it's super, super critical that we're building this muscle of resiliency in our clients. It's so easy to blame. The market wasn't right. My employees did a bad job. The vendors didn't treat me well. The bank called my loan. There's so many excuses. And we've become a society, unfortunately, I think, where we've had an erosion of resiliency. And I do think it starts in childhood. I think, the helicopter parent syndrome, and we're all scared to death of what's going to happen to our kids out there. And, I heard someone the other day, he said something that was really profound for me. His fear was that, we used to create a path for our kids, and that was sort of the thing that we did. And he's like, now I'm afraid that I'm like snow plowing a path for my kids, and I'm literally removing every obstacle along the way, and I'm not building resiliency. And I think that trend started probably 20, 30 years ago, and we're starting to see it in the employees and the entrepreneurs that we're coaching. And, if the path was always plowed for them, they may lack a little bit of resiliency. And we may be up against a time when things aren't as great, and it's going to be the entrepreneurs that can adapt and pivot and be resilient that are going to survive. And I think it's our responsibility to be really talking about that right now as we may face kind of a shift. Do we really have resilient companies, resilient entrepreneurs, resilient senior teams, or are they fragile?